Hi everyone, if you watch some of my shorts, you'll have seen pages that look something a bit like this. These are actually official pages on the Japanese Nintendo website, and they're still active too. Depending on your browser, the characters might be jumbled, but it seems to work well on Google Chrome. I tried to translate using a few websites and it didn't seem to work and it would just jumble the characters, so I figured I'd go through and translate it myself. I tried to strike a balance between natural English while keeping things as close to what is being said as possible. The thing about translating is there are usually a few different ways to do it, aiming for either complete straight translations or changing it a bit to make it sound more natural in the target language. I had some help with the nuance of certain phrases, but I hope overall we did a good job. Here's one I wanted to get to for a little while, and it's super interesting. It's a page by Shigeru Miyamoto himself, and he talks about Mario in detail. I'll read through the translation first and then give my opinions and thoughts afterwards. Let's get started. Mario's good point? Well, he's a frank good guy. You might think he's a good guy, but no, there's no buts. He's really a good person. He's a hard worker. Blue-collar workers, they sweat and slave away, working hard for their family and girlfriend. That's a good guy, right? Well, at his roots he's a blue-collar worker, so even in Dr. Mario, for example, when he puts on the doctor's outfit, for some reason he seems like a bit of a quack. When it comes to his skills, you'd have to say English and Italian, right? He's always talking in games, isn't he? His English is better than mine. Also, he's a really hard worker. When a new system is coming out, you need your top batter to be performing front and center stage, right? Because of that, he's working hard behind the scenes. Currently, it looks like he's getting many things ready for his performance in the newest production on Dolphin. I'm sure you'll see a whole new side of him. Because, well, Mario and Luigi, don't you think they've gotten a bit too cute recently? I kind of want them to be a bit more grown up, I guess. So on Dolphin, we'd like for him to act a bit cooler. For example, Mario does this peace sign, right? The peace sign's a bit childish. So on Dolphin, instead of the peace sign, we'll have him do another pose instead. For example, having him stick his thumb out pointing downwards. He's not going to be a kid forever, and I think we'll be able to see him grow mentally as well. Right. In terms of his younger brother, Luigi is a bit of a downer. He'll put himself down by saying, "It's not like I'll be the lead anyways." See, second sons, they're good at taking a break. Same as me. That's right, I'm actually the second son in my family. Luigi's a bit pale, but intelligent looking, right? In that regard, he's also just like me. Everyone is always thinking about getting Luigi in that starring role. And because of that, I think that day is probably coming soon. But if it isn't a hit, we'll have to put him back as Mario's sidekick. Currently in the development room I'm in, we've got Luigi up and running. We're trying to put Luigi in a bunch of different things, but I'm sure the magazine editors are going to get the wrong impression and write that Luigi's the star of the next game. Well then, in terms of a game that Mario's been in that I rate very highly, Super Mario Bros. 2, I guess. I suppose I like that each character's personality quirks come out. Picking up things out of the ground with all of your might is a lot of fun too. Super Mario All-Stars is in the Nintendo Power lineup, so even now you can play the game. Also, for something more up-to-date, definitely Mario Golf. It's really well made. The more you play it, the more fun it'll be. It's definitely very Nintendo-like. And so that's it. What do you guys think? I thought this was really interesting because I feel like I really never saw Shigeru Miyamoto really talk in depth about Mario's character like this. The peace sign thing is interesting too. I've heard the rumors that he felt this way, but I didn't know it was actually a real thing. And again, this is on Nintendo's official website, so he definitely said this. I thought it was interesting that he said that. I just never thought so myself, to be honest. I guess because I saw Mario doing it mostly, I thought it was cool, but I guess it's just me. I think that point of view about Dr. Mario is pretty interesting because honestly I never really thought of him like that. I just thought of it as Mario having many jobs and kind of being a handyman in all, ways, shapes, and sizes. But for Mr. Miyamoto to think of him as a quack, I think is pretty interesting. He certainly doesn't come across like that in the games, so it's kind of a good thing, I guess. I guess that idea of Mario being a blue-collar worker, it's a bit of a holdover from his original appearances in Mario Bros., Wrecking Crew, Donkey Kong, and things like that. I suppose we're so used to seeing Mario as this big hero nowadays, we forget that, yeah, he's a plumber. Also, what I think is pretty cool is how they're actually talking about the Dolphin in this. I don't know if the Dolphin was officially unveiled at this time, or if it was only being talked about in Japan. And of course, the stuff about Luigi is hilarious too, because we know that Luigi's Mansion was coming, and it was definitely cooking, and he just had to try to divert attention away from it as much as possible. But we know it's coming. We know Luigi's Mansion. It's going to be a launch title for GameCube. It's interesting to see that even back in the day he had this support for Luigi. It's pretty interesting though to see this whole idea of Luigi being a downer on himself and things like that. Again, I never really felt that in the games until I saw Luigi's Mansion. To me, Luigi was just as capable as Mario was until that game, where he kind of solidified himself as like being scared and stuff like that. And if you ever needed a bigger reason to play the GOAT Mario game Super Mario Bros. 2, the man himself, he's telling you to go play it. And just to point something out really quick, when he mentions Nintendo Power, he's not talking about the magazine since that wasn't a thing in Japan. He's actually referring to the Super Famicom flashcards that existed. It was a pretty cool device. You would go to Lawson, which is a convenience store here in Japan, and you would put the card in the machine and you could buy games and load them on there. It was like the successor to the disc writer for the Famicom disk system. They also had one for Game Boy too. And he also talks about Mario Golf. Personally, I prefer tennis, but golf is still pretty solid on the N64. But that's about it for this one. What do you guys think about this? I think it's real interesting, and there's more websites on here I'd love to translate and go through. It takes me a little bit though, so I'll try to do it at a good pace. There's a few more I'd like to go in depth with, and maybe I'll do a longer video or something like that. I don't know, we'll see, but if you liked watching this, give me a like, a comment. If you want to see more, please let me know, and I'll try to do more of these if I can. Also, if you have some time, please check out GPX Japan. It's another channel I work with, and we have a bunch of great guys there. We're all working really hard to make videos for that platform as well. Please check it out, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.